Yeah, and so I was like, I couldn't see you there over the hood of my F-250, idiot. Anyways, let's do this podcast. Hey guys, welcome to the Professional Interns Podcast. It's a podcast where two friends save the world and Christmas using the power of friendship. Noah, how you doing?
Hell of an intro. I'm happy to be here, Jamie. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited to answer some questions and do the first episode of this podcast, the hopefully first official episode. We already recorded an episode, and we're recording a new first episode. That's how it went.
Yeah, no, nobody bats 100. Nobody bats 100. You bat a 500, and you bat a 50, 500.
500.
You bet a 500. You're one of the best baseball players in the world. So, we just got to hit this one out.
Yeah. So good to go. But this is an advice podcast where you guys can write into professionalinternspodcast at gmail.com. And we'll give you advice, some good, some bad. We don't know. You're going to have to roll the dice there.
And we got some questions in today.
Yeah, we do have some questions for today. People definitely wrote into us. I didn't just scour advice forums on Reddit, so don't think that I did that, especially because it's formatted like a lot of those forums. Just want to make sure that these are all written directly to us, not scoured from the internet.
And Jamie, I think it wouldn't be right for us not to discuss the holidays, since both of us did get a little time off of work.
I actually got no time off of work. I live in the office. Some people like you like to work from home. All right. I'm a real defender of coming back into the office.
I think you're the only one who would defend coming back into the office. The only one other than the shareholders, they enjoy an office.
Look, if I'm not going to fight for the shareholders, who will? So now you were mentioning something about your grandma Christmas. Christmas, a sweater.
Yeah,
he wouldn't tell me this story. He said we got to save it for the podcast. I said that's bold, but let's hear it.
My Grammy, naturally, she comes to the holiday party, and she's wearing a sweater. All of us, she's like, has the ugly Christmas sweater. And
was it actually an ugly Christmas sweater?
It was an ugly Christmas sweater. You'll get it. Ugly Christmas sweater, okay? So she's walking around, and I kind of start looking at the sweater. Nobody else is wearing ugly Christmas sweaters. This is just, Grammy doing Grammy things. And I start looking at this sweater, and it is two snowmen, okay? And one snowman's laying on its side, the other snowman upright. I start really looking at the sweater. The snowman upright had a icicle in its hand. The snowman down on the ground was bleeding out from the icicle. I don't know where you thought I was going with that.
I thought it was going somewhere else. This isn't much better, but it is better.
It looked like the one snowman shanked the other snowman. It is laying on the ground, bleeding out with X's on its eyes. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, Grammy, what's on your sweater? And she goes, oh, it's just two snowmen. I'm like, she's not getting it. She's not getting it. I'm like, no, I can't be the only one seeing this. I call over Josh. And I'm like, Josh, my twin brother, Josh, also has a YouTube channel, a little bit bigger than ours. But I call him over, and I'm like, Josh, you got to look at the sweater. He goes, no way. And Grammy's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Grammy, it looks like the one snowman shanked the other snowman.
She's like, I got it from this nice little shop in Detroit.
And we're like, where'd you buy it from? Marshall's. I was like, that says it all. Says it all. We call over our other grandmother, and we're like, Grandma, look at this. And she looks at this sweater and goes, oh, that's grotesque. My Grammy just not getting it. Doesn't understand it. And we just moved on. We didn't talk about it again. We said, let Grammy wear her sweater. But my God, they can't be selling that stuff out of Marshall's. The people, it could really trick a shopper.
Is there a store that has worse merchandise than Marshall's? They have if you ever need a full-size picture of Biggie Smalls on an oversized t-shirt, go to Marshall's, but I don't really know what else they have.
They would have like a full print graphic hoodie of like the Woods, and you're like, dang, what is this? Or they have what is the Polo Association? That one?
Yeah.
Like it's like Polo, but it's a step down.
It's
a big
it's
step
the Marshall's
down.
brand.
It's
the light version.
It's the light version. It's a big step down. It is the Android to the Apple of the sweater polo world.
Dude, I shop a lot at H&M. But dude, H&M, they love like the full print, like Rick and Morty hoodie.
They love.
I've never seen anyone ever wear that.
Yeah, I when I worked there, they had a full print Pickle Rick sweater, and then I was like, no way they're making this. A week later, they got it in the sweat shorts and the t-shirt, full print Pickle Rick across the whole thing. And not gonna lie, I saw multiple people buy the full set, and I'm like, dude, what are you wearing this to? Who are you trying to impress with this thing?
They're pulling up to the function, baby.
That's why I wore that to work, and then that's why I'm an intern. I didn't
save some for the rest of us.
Dude was ready to slay. Wore that to the Christmas party, and
oh my god, dude, it's that stuff. I love that, like the shirts and stuff they had that are like really poorly translated too. I saw these a lot when I was like living in France because like they would have, obviously, like they were selling to like a French market, but it was like translated, I assume, by someone who was not native English speaking. So it'd be like the statement they'd want to do is like protect the earth, and it'd be like hug dirt.
Or they have the shirts that say like it's really trying to be foreign. It'll say like Japan, and then it'll have a bunch of Chinese like characters under it, and you're like, I don't know what that says, but I have a feeling it's probably not saying what you think it's saying. Or it'll say like Tokyo, and I'm like, if you wear this and actually go to Tokyo, they will laugh at you. Like, just not the move. I went out with my fiance's family for Christmas, and you actually came up in conversation. Someone was like, "Oh, who's your best? Who's not your best man? Who you didn't earn that title, groomsman at your wedding?" And I was like telling them about you. I was like, one of her friends, her sister's like flying away to Europe. And I was like, yeah, my friend lived in Europe for a little bit. He's like my groomsman. And they're like, oh, where do you live? And her family, very Italian. I go, oh, lived in Paris for a year. And tell me why her uncle comes over. You know the type of uncle we're talking about. And goes, Paris? Dang, them French are sneaky. You got to stay away from the French. I was like dying, and you can't be near the French people. Them French are sneaky people. I'm like,
French are sneaky. That's crazy. That's such an uncle statement.
And of course, it's the uncle, no kids, never gonna have kids, and he's just he lives in his bubble. And the French, they're sneaky people, Jamie, sneaky people.
Yeah, no, my uncle didn't say anything about that. He did try to bring up the drones. I'm not going to go into that, but he was like, y'all hear about them drones? And I was like, no, I haven't. Why don't you enlighten me?
No, I didn't hear about the car-sized drones flying around New Jersey.
I don't think New Jersey knows they have an airport there.
So it's just
like these giant tubes. It's like they got their arms out. We'll figure it out. Why don't we jump into some of these questions? Because, I mean, these people need advice. And some of these are up to a year old. So they've been waiting for us to start this pod.
Up to a year old. You think our advice is still going to be punctual? The world's changed a lot in a year. There's drones in New Jersey. This wasn't a year ago. No drones in Jersey.
It's a good point. Well, fortunately, none of these are about drones.
Okay.
But they're. It was really hard to not get ones that were just extremely sexual. I think that's the only thing people post online about.
90% of the world is 90% of the internet's just sex. So it's like it kind of makes sense that you make it over to Reddit questions.
The other 10% column. This podcast, baby.
Let's go. That's where. Well, we're talking about the questions on Reddit. I don't know. Is there a little overlap there? Little overlap?
No, these are all written into us directly.
Oh, okay. Yep. All written into us directly at ProfessionalInternsPodcast@gmail.com. You got to write them in there. Get them to us. We are going to give you good advice, bad advice, no advice.
Full stop.
If nothing else, you'll get our opinion on the situation, which who doesn't want
whether or not you ask for it, You're getting our opinion.
If you're writing in, you're asking for it.
All right, this first one, it reads, I accidentally left my grandma a voicemail of me having sex. What should I do?
Damn.
What?
How?
Know? How does this happen?
Grandma, you couldn't leave that voicemail for anyone else. Grandma, it has to be grandma.
They say, me and my fiance were doing the do casually, but I didn't realize that I butt dialed my grandma right in the middle of it. I didn't realize it until it was over, and I immediately hung up. It's now a voicemail on her phone, and I believe I have no idea what to do. Please help.
Right off the bat, you know what comes to mind? I would do the impromptu drop in at grandma's house. I don't know if this is a cell phone situation or a I got the voice mailbox on the table. What are we thinking? If
it's on a landline, this is a much bigger problem if it's on a landline. 100%. I think it's got to be on cell phone.
Okay. Well, if we're thinking cell phone, I would pop in, I would do the impromptu drop by, and I would accidentally drop her phone in like a cup of soda. Like, you got to go a little bit heavier than the cup of water, because she might Google how to fix this, and then you get the rice trick. You can't rice trick out a phone dropped in a cup of soda. You can't fix it.
No, they're like waterproof now. Look,
you think grandma's flip phone from the 90s, her Razor flip phone that she hasn't upgraded, is waterproof?
It depends what kind of phone grandma's rocking and how well she knows how to use her phone, right? My grandma's got an iPhone. She's got no clue what's going on there. All right. I could call her, give her this podcast on voicemail. She won't listen to it.
Yeah.
But I do think the drop in, that might be the move.
You could at least like scope out the situation with the drop in. Like, you could at least be like, hey, grandma. And if she already listened to that voicemail, you're going to know immediately and know to get the hell out of there. But
do you bring the fiance?
I would personally probably bring the fiance and let her know that I might need her to help me get out of there. Like give her like use a code word, because if I drop into grandma's house, I ain't getting out under 2 hours, and would probably want to do the kill of the phone pretty quick and get out. So I need to have a secret code word.
I would just steal the phone and try to delete the email. I feel like destroying the phone's probably a bit more.
But destroy the phone. And then I think you bring
the fiance. You bring the fiance. You look at grandma's eyes when the fiance walks in. Does she look disgusted? What were you doing to my baby boy? Were you pegging that boy?
I think you bring the fiance, and you know what I think you do? I think you try and delete the message, and then if you can't delete the message, you destroy the phone, and then you invite grandma out to lunch. You head down to the local
Chili's.
I don't know if that's a national brand. The local Friendlies.
No, that's so local. That's so local. I have to cut it. It's so local. I have to cut it. That's insane that you said.
There's like 10 of them around here.
Yeah, and they're only around here.
Damn it,
dude! That's insane. I think the one thing we're not talking enough about is how the hell did you do this? Right? I haven't butt dialed somebody in decades. Ain't like, how do you do that during the do? What you kept?
Were your pants on?
Yeah, we guys fully clothed. Like you, I think a little bit. Actually, all the blame needs to be on you. And I think this is potentially elder abuse. This is potentially elder abuse.
I don't know. It just feels insane that this was even possible. I don't think I could do this if I tried at this point. Like,
yeah. So I think I'd boil our advice down to go to church.
Hail Mary. Yep.
yeah. 2 Hail Marys, and that's all. That's literally all the
2 Hail Marys and Our Father, and hit them with an amen at the end, and move on. And you know what? Grandma will probably appreciate that anyways.
Yeah,
Tell her you prayed. Tell her you prayed after. All right. The next one we have is blackout drunk at a work party. I, 23-year-old female, got absolutely blackout drunk at my Christmas work party yesterday. I'm not feeling well at the moment and have no appetite, so I stupidly drank way too much on an empty stomach. I have no clue what I was rambling on about to my colleagues, including my boss, and so scared that I have said something embarrassing. I don't drink often at all and definitely got way too carried away. How do I face my colleagues at work tomorrow? Jamie.
Man, we don't have advice for this.
You know, we never worked a job where we maybe drank a little too much at a work party. Never happened. But if I was her, okay, I would she didn't say how long she's been at the company, but she's 23. She's young. She's probably somewhat new to the company. I personally would lead into that and really like make that a personality trait. You going a little too hard at the party because nothing what would her boss be? Gen X? What is that?
They don't say it. Could be a stone cold boomer.
Okay. You know what boomers love to do? Work hard, play hard mentality. Yeah. I would feed into the fact that you have that in your bones. You are work hard, play hard. And I would kind of feed into that. When you're at work, you're cool. But then if they invite you out again, you got to get drunk again. You got to have the good time and go a little too hard. And they'll be like, she gets down.
What if you kind of really like lean into it and you come into work the next day drunk?
Ooh.
Or
okay.
Hear me out. Gaslight. Come into work drunk the next day. They're going to be like, oh, she wasn't drunk. That's just how she is. You're going to get drunk. Honestly, the rest of the time you're at this company.
Your advice is become an alcoholic? I'm trying to scope this out.
I don't think it's an alcoholic if you're doing it professionally.
Okay. Doing it for the love of the game. The love of the job, the love of the game. I think it's the opposite of an alcoholic. You're really controlling the alcohol in this situation.
Yeah.
You have it all. You got alcohol by its balls here. You're in control.
Yeah, and your boss, toss him a Coors Banquet. Maybe he'll really like that and help him with climb the ladder.
I think I remember I was on maybe this was TikTok, which maybe isn't the best place for me to get my news or advice or something. But it was a girl talking about how she never got invited out to work events because she was a woman. And one of the big things that how you climb, especially, when you get more corporate America interns here, when you get more corporate America, it's kind of schmoozing up to the boss at those work events that really helps you climb the ladder. And if you start being really cool, you're the cool person at the work events. You know how to get down. You're gonna climb the ladder probably faster than somebody who didn't get a little blackout drunk at a couple Christmas parties now and then.
Yeah, it's a vibe thing. I chose this question purely because I thought it was really funny because Noah and I work together. That's the whole professional intern. We got. We had our fun times. We had a few drinks in the office. This actually sounds really bad if you don't know the culture that was going on there.
I'd use culture loosely. They would say it was a culture. I would say it was a lot of overworking. But,
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of overworking, a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it drank a little at work. I don't know. It wasn't like... It was at work parties. I want to be clear. We weren't going in drunk. I want to be extremely
We were just
clear.
cracking bevs at the desk, okay?
You're at the desk right now? You got a bev?
It's under the desk. I have a full bottle of Hennessy.
Maybe we should stop dropping brand names in case in the future an alcohol company wants to sponsor.
We can't promote an alcohol brand.
But what if it was... socially,
we have to wait at least like 100 episodes before we lean into the alcohol and gambling grift.
Yeah, but that's where the money is, Jamie.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You started your career in gambling, didn't you? You're doing of course. Doing your TikTok gambling. It was really what took off.
They wrote a Wall Street Journal. They wrote a Wall Street Journal article about me. All right. How many
Dude.
Wall Street Journal articles do you have, Noah?
I don't think I've ever been quoted in an article. I can't say I have been.
Yeah, they wrote one about me. I started a conversation.
A conversation about sports betting affecting the early 20s male demographic.
Yeah, I should clarify. It was not a praise piece. It was closer to a hit piece, but a piece is a piece.
I would have printed that out and hung that on that board right behind you, because I don't think any of your coworkers could say, I have, what do we got back there? What do we got back there? Is that an HR meeting on your calendar? You should have next to that.
Yeah, I do have
next to that Wall Street Journal, your quote in there. Didn't they actually quote you?
They linked my video. We did an interview.
Oh, and you don't think it did not show you well?
You know,
what was the series? What was the series? Give me the premise.
Yeah.
It's not up anymore, so you guys can't find this in the dark archives. But
no. So the whole premise, I'm a stats guy. I like numbers, and just Powerball publishes their, like, Powerball's a big American gambling thing. It's like you buy a Powerball ticket for like $2. They like pull balls, like little ping pong balls. It doesn't matter. But you have like a 1 in, I think it's like 8 million chance or something. It's some really, really bad chance of winning $1 million. That's like their big prize.
And you're way in that 1.292 million. Oh, 1 in 292 million.
Okay,
almost over million. Oh.
Yeah, it's bad. I forgot.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. It's the lottery. But so I looked at that and I was like, oh, like if I flipped a coin 20 times in a row, or like how many times would I have to flip a coin in a row? And like if it went from $1 to $2, basically just do that until you get to the $1 million. Would the odds be better? And yeah, of course they're better. And so I made a TikTok making a joke about that, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pay my student loans like this. And it was about sports betting. So like that was my 50-50 coin flip. I was like, if I just get it right 20 days in a row, boom, I'm paying off my student loans. And I really leaned into it. I exaggerated my student loans. And yeah, no, it took off, got 1 million views. And then the interview happened a year later. But I did probably like 20 parts of it. Because I was like, oh, like, look, when you have that many like views pouring in, it's so like infectious. But then like once the kind of novelty like falls away, you know, you're 2 weeks into it. Like it was me making videos. I'm like, oh, I got to look into a baseball game to bet on. I'm like, I don't want to bet on any, like I didn't even want to bet on anything. It was a one-time thing. And like, it was fun for the first few days. And I got like degenerate ass dudes messaging me like, yo, let's run this like scheme. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It was just like all in all sucked.
I as somebody who I have made it a rule of mine to not gamble, because I know I have a very addictive personality. If I start gambling, it's all downhill. I love the casino. When I was initially looking for internships before our prior company, I applied to, we live in New England. I think that's not going to dox myself. New England. And I applied to every casino. We have a bunch of casinos over here, and I wanted my foot in the door in the casino industry. I love casinos. I think they're a lot of fun, but dude, I can't gamble. If I gamble, I know I'm just going to end up blowing my money, and I'm just, but dude, if you hit one good parlay, Jamie, one like 18 leg parlay, your student loans could be done right there. Right?
Dude, yeah, it's pretty much free. I mean, if you think about it, it's guaranteed.
It's a layup.
Yeah, I don't even like joke. I don't even like joking about this because there's definitely someone who will eventually see it who's like hooked, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Which one more swing of the bat? It's like, no, man. Put the bat down. If you're
listening to this, dude, don't do it. I feel like don't gamble with money you're not afraid to lose. But man, you're not willing to lose. Do you even want to lose the money to start with? Even money that you're willing to lose, wouldn't you rather lose it on, I don't know, whatever crappy TikTok ad you just got served? Yeah. And now you have the dino sweater in the closet. Doesn't that feel a little bit better?
Exactly, dude. You get it. This guy gets it. I mean, it's just, and it's also like, I know we're so far off the point, but it's like you'll like wins, like you might bet like $5 and you win like 7, like plus your original 5, and like that win doesn't feel that good. Like you're kind of always chasing that big win, the one that feels great, and so you're just like you're swinging for the fences every time because the home run feels good, but the best way to get that hidden average up, hit a bunch of singles.
Hit a bunch of singles, and you know what that means? Working your internship, going into work and plugging away for 9 hours for the rest of your life, earning a very low wage that is not worth it. That's what the American dream is about.
Mm-hmm. Going into the office, grabbing corporate America by the bootstraps,
Let's go.
Saying, "Hey, I'm ready to work.
I'm ready to work. I'm ready to 40 hours." Dude, you know what, Jamie? You work 40 hours a week. That leaves you another 60 to put in more work.
Amen.
Amen. Next question, Jamie.
All right, so this next one's a bit long, so bear with me here. My girlfriend, 23 female, and I, 23 male, have been together for 4 years. I'm still studying, and this has caused a slight strain in our relationship. Nothing major, just that it has become difficult for us to spend time with each other, which has led to fights, which were always sorted out immediately. During my end of semester exams, my girlfriend decided to go out for some drinks with her new colleagues, all of them girls. She got drunk and started texting me at 3 a.m. while I was studying. I told her to enjoy her night and be safe. She told me her friends have decided to crash at a guy's place, a guy who she doesn't even know, and I was pretty chill about it. I know I wouldn't have to worry about her cheating on me, but at 4:15 a.m., when I was just about to take a nap before waking up to study again, my girlfriend blows up my phone. She told me she's panicked because she made out with her friend. My girlfriend has known her new colleagues for less than a month. I got a little pissed, but I told her I needed some space since my exam was in a day. But she got really defensive and stated that she's been through a lot in the past year because of the minuscule issues we've had in our relationship, and that she needed to have a little adventure. Now, here's the thing. This guy's long-winded as hell.
Dude, just get to that point. I'll be honest. Listen to this already. To say you needed a little adventure, so you cheated on your significant other, is an insane statement. That's all.
But there's more.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. I personally don't have a problem with her drunk making out with a girl because it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
My issue is that she was reckless and irresponsible in doing the things prior to the kiss, and then she got defensive when I called her out for it. She's planning on moving abroad in a few months for further studies. Am I in the wrong?
Dude.
I got one piece of advice for you, buddy. Y'all gotta break the fuck up.
Get the hell out of that relationship. What are you doing? Are you in? No, you're not in the wrong. But also, she's leaving for a few months. Did you say how long they've been together? 4 years? 4 years too long, my dude. 4 years too long.
Like, here's the thing. If he doesn't care about them making out, then so be it. That's fine. I think every couple has got their own boundaries. It's not that big of a deal. Sure. But, like, I don't think these are minuscule issues at all. I think to you, they're minuscule issues, buddy. But, like, she's not going out on a Tuesday. So it's probably a Friday, a Saturday night. It's 3:15 or 3 a.m. 3 a.m. She's out drinking. She's texting you. You're hitting her with yeah, I'm studying. You kind of sound like a stick in the mud, dude.
Dude, the only thing, if you're going to stay in the relationship, I'm going to give you some advice right here. You got a leg up in the relationship at this point. She kind of owes you one. Maybe you could return the favor, okay? Not favor, I don't know if that's the right word, but you could do the same.
Like make out with one of your boys?
I was thinking you would be allowed one drunken makeout sesh. Maybe find an attractive guy, because you can't switch. You can't go make out with a girl. It's not equivalent.
Eye for eye. Eye for eye.
Eye for eye. You could go find one of your very attractive friends and get a little tipsy and have a little make out there. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. I honestly think I think it would. Maybe she would see it in a different light after
never
that.
Kiss the homies goodnight. What are you doing?
Little peck on the lips. I don't know.
And they're both boys, and they're making a podcast.
And it's 4:15 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought like obviously she's in the wrong for like cheating on her boyfriend.
Yeah,
like that's obvious. I think cheating is scummy of everyone. But I think this dude's in such an extreme level of cope for himself. Like, buddy, they're not her friend. She's known them for less than a month. No, and she just happened to she didn't accidentally make out with these people. She just met.
Dude, no, I think he's eating a big plate of copium.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get his I don't want to say get his life together because it sounds like he's studying. He's got his life together. It just sounds like he needs. This girl doesn't. Like,
no, he doesn't have his life together at all. He's taking a nap at 4:15 in the morning, buddy. That's called going to bed. What are you doing?
Dude, I don't know, man. I feel like okay. Maybe this is looking at the wrong way. Also, the idea of maybe it's college, so maybe you can get away with a little more. The idea of crashing at some random dude's apartment after making out with some random friend that you met a month ago just feels like a lot of lines of immaturity that I just don't think you need in your life right now. You're probably about to graduate and she's going abroad. Do you think, is he going to pull a U and travel abroad with?
No, because here's the thing. They just gotta break up. She's going abroad. He's not. I don't know if I omitted this from the response. He was so wordy. He's not going abroad with her. Buddy,
I would get out.
Just break up. She's obviously not interested in you being so busy, and that's it, within her right to be upset that you're busy a bunch. It's not within her right to make out with her new friend. But like,
yeah,
she's going abroad. You don't plan to go with her. Just end it. Just, you guys can get back together. But like you said, they're both immature.
It's also 23. They've been together for 4 years, so they've been dating since 19. It's early enough in your life that it's fine to get out of that. And I don't think, realistically, there shouldn't be any hard feelings. You could even do the easy, we're going different places in our life. It's just the easiest way out. You just drop that and there won't be hard feelings. And then, you could always, go back and get a couple more fun times, a little makeup, but I wouldn't go back long term, right? I wouldn't go back long term, but that's like fun. When she's back from abroad, you're like, let's catch up over dinner. I don't know, but realistically, you don't want to stay with that long term, but you could still have a little fun here and there. Nothing wrong with that.
I think the writing's on the wall, buddy. You don't need to study to read it.
Yeah. All right. For the next one, we got another guy writing in about relationship problems. It feels like, is it just me, or do a lot of guys write on Reddit about their relationship problems?
I think there's only guys on Reddit, so I think that's what's going on here.
That might be what's going on here.
So we also have to take it with a grain of salt because it's probably always skewed heavily in their favor.
Always.
Here at the Professional Interns Podcast, we always side with the woman.
That last one we definitely didn't.
Off camera.
Of course. My girlfriend told me she was 22, but now she says she's 29, about to turn 30. Dude, what the hell?
Dude, there's no way this one's real. There's no way.
It can't be. I'm an 18-year-old college student, and I've been in a relationship for about 6 months. When we first started dating, my girlfriend told me she was 22, and a few days ago, she revealed that she's actually 29 and will turn 30 soon. This revelation has left me feeling confused and unsure what to do. I love her, but the age gap feels overwhelming now, especially since I was under a different impression about her age this whole time. As you should be. She said she was 22. There should be no other impression. As a college student with no income, I was thinking I had time to build myself up before considering long-term commitments like marriage or starting a family. But now I feel like the pressure is on and I don't know how to handle it. What should I do? Dude.
I think the thing that makes me think that this might be legit is this is the most 18-year-old question in the world.
Dude.
I don't know. I got to start a family or the long-term commit. Dude, it's been 6 months.
It's 6 months, man.
Dude, that's crazy. Also, I don't know. Maybe how do you not know she's 30?
Dude, she was 29 getting with an 18-year-old. Like, she's a cradle robber. What is this?
Dude, where did you meet her? I have so many questions.
Dude, I don't meet 18-year-olds anymore. I'm 30. I don't meet 18-year-olds anymore. I don't know how I would meet an 18-year-old. I'm engaged. I'm engaged.
30 years old no longer is meeting those 18-year-olds.
You know, maybe at 29 it was different. Joking.
Yeah.
How is a 29-year-old meeting 18-year-olds at this point? To the point where you can date. Was she just going to like college bars? Like,
I mean, he's 18. I mean, maybe he's at an 18 plus bar. But
that's even weirder. That's even more insane. Imagine being 30 at an 18 plus bar. Even on like an 18 plus night, you're really not supposed to be there if you're 30. You're really not. It's nobody would say anything, but it really should be looked down on.
Dude, yeah, it's so weird. There's a bar like somewhat near my house. It's kind of like a bar, kind of like clubbish. It's like one of those mixed places. And it's I went there, I think I was 24, and I went there with my girlfriend. Dude, they're 18 plus. It was so weird. I hated the whole experience. I'm like, everyone here is underage besides me. This is really weird, uncomfy. I hated it. And then I got COVID. So it sucked.
That generation don't care about anyone but themselves. They got COVID. They're still hitting the bar that night. That's the risk you take when dating an 18-year-old. She doesn't seem to mind.
That's the power of Gen Z, baby. That's the power of Gen Z.
They have the immune system that we cannot stand up to. If I was him, I think I would go. I think I would be a little bit like, dang, I'm a cougar hunter. I think I would go with that for maybe about a month, and then I would get the hell out and be like, that was a fun time, and just sneak away and never talk to her again. She needs to start saving for like retirement and stuff. She has other things on her mind. She has to start she needs to do her 401k and take care of these other things. She doesn't have time to be playing around with an 18-year-old. I would get out of that. You gotta. She needs to find someone else with a pension, and they got to get together and be happy.
Yeah, buddy.
Right?
I'm going to talk directly. I don't think he'll ever see this podcast.
He might. Look, our key audience is probably about an 18-year-old college student, right? Like,
that's actually probably pretty true. If they somehow ever see this, first off, that 30-year-old, that's Dr. Disrespect right there. They're a predator. They are absolutely. I don't care that you were 18. They're hunting. I don't know how you met. They're a predator. Get the hell out of there.
Get just out. 29. Like, you're 29, nearly 30. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Dude, you just get out. Yeah, your brain's not even developed yet, man. Don't let her get in there.
They're grooming you. It's weird. And like, listen to the way you're talking about long-term commitments like marriage or starting a family. You're 18. You're in college. You know what you need to be worrying about? Like, where you're going to black out next weekend. Like
where that next case of Natty Ice is coming from. Who's buying you that? Who's buying you the next Natty Lights? Who's buying you that?
How are you going to scrape up $30 and buy a rack?
How are you going to sign up to start driving Uber Eats at the ripe age of 18? That's what I'd be worried about. Making a couple extra bucks on the side. You don't need this. You don't need this old lady in your life.
Yeah, and if the old lady is listening to this podcast, what the fuck?
What the hell?
What the hell? You can DM Noah on Instagram. No.
Whoa!
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right. So the next person asks, how do I quit this job that desperately needs me? I'm a producer at a tiny agency. Including me, there are 7 employees. This is my first job out of school, and I'm grateful for the experience and skills I learned here. I love my coworkers, and overall my employer isn't bad. However, as a manager, he's not the most professional. Because my company is so small, I do so much more than producing videos, client relationships, social media, etc., etc. I work late on weekends, and I'm not compensated for this. Recently, some other clients have asked about my rates and if I'm free to make them content with the possibility of a permanent role at a more established agency. Even without that role, I would have enough work to keep me paid and busy. My new opportunities will require me to start producing ASAP. I would have to leave my current role pretty much immediately. My employer will not take this well. What is the most professional and least problematic way to let my boss know that I'll be leaving?
Jamie, is this not just your life?
Did
you not just read your exact? You wrote this on Reddit, didn't you?
I think I wrote
this. You wrote this on Reddit.
This is eerily similar to like the life that I have lived. Just first out, let's address something. You're not that important at this agency. Everyone feels like they're really important. You know, it's always like, how are they gonna continue on if I leave? But weirdly, like they always do. You know, like, do you do work? Yeah. Is it gonna make people's lives harder with you not being there? Yeah. Will they find someone to replace you? Because they will find someone to replace you. It's fine. That's the nature of life. You're gonna leave. And also complaining about you working crazy hours, like working late on the weekends, and it's your first job out of college. That's the nature of any agency. That's if you're listening to this and you're considering working at an agency, just know like the culture is like an agency is where Noah and I met. The culture is built on burning you out and replacing you.
100%. I feel like people there's a million of these tiny agencies, and personally I think it's great foot in the door. You know, you get a little bit of experience under you, but you do not want to be at that agency more than 2, maybe 3 years, because they aren't trying to keep you long term. They don't really give a crap about you. I would personally, if I was him and you really feel bad about you know, taking on all this work, I would slowly start working a little bit less. Okay. Hear me out here. And maybe this might hurt the team a little bit. If you really don't just want to quit, it's a job. You can quit. I would slowly start working a little less. And I think somebody else will have to pick up that slack, and maybe it strains the team for a little bit, but other people are going to learn your role pretty quickly, I bet.
Yeah.
And then you just sneak out when you can. Otherwise, you just give your 2 weeks and move on. It just doesn't feel, tiny agencies, they suck. They're tough to work for. You're going to end up being overworked. You got your experience you needed. I don't know if you said how long you've been there, but this is your first job out of college. Just get out while you can.
No. I do think they say what's the most professional and least problematic way to leave. You got to at least try to give them 2 weeks.
You could give them more. If you really, you could give them a month and just start doing the work inside. That's not like crazy.
I think they want to leave immediately, but yeah, you could also like kind of foot in, foot out the door. Just be like, hey, I'll work for I'm going to give you my 2 weeks. I can stay on and do another 2 weeks after that part-time and then be fully gone. Or who knows, maybe like, you know, if you say, hey, I'm moving to do freelance work, maybe they hire you on for a little bit to bridge the gap. But I will say there is a big trade-off of doing freelance work. Like I probably work less like paid hours than I did when I was working at an agency, which is nice. But I also work more unpaid hours because, you know, like finding your next client takes time, and that's time you're not being paid for. There's a big learning curve there. You know, like when I was making like $25 an hour at an agency, I was like, all right, you know, this is whatever at like 40 hours a week. That's like 50 grand a year. I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. It's my first job out. And then, you know, I started freelancing, and I was like, all right, well, I was getting paid $25 an hour, so I should get paid 25 an hour again. But like, you have overhead now. You have to cover, you know, you won't have 40 hours of paid work. I'm really just yapping here, but like, there's a lot to learn. Like, you're going to have to charge more, and there's a lot of good places online, a million YouTube videos about it. Go look at those. But
Or you
I
could
don't
do
think
what
that's
I
your
did.
question.
Jump your way to another agency and just go a little bit bigger. I'll tell you right now, as they get bigger, you'll start finding that they have to be more professional. All these little agencies feel like they mostly work the same.
Yeah.
I have many friends that work for these little, especially marketing agencies. I assume that's probably what you're talking about. Usually that's what people say when they say agency. As they get bigger, they usually get more professional. They get more actually like roles, and you won't be working those weekends and stuff. So you could look for that. But I know you said you did want to start with your own clients. So I would give that 2 weeks, try and get out there, get out as soon as possible, and make sure before giving your 2 weeks that you have one of these clients lined up at least. You don't want to be in a situation where you're super desperate and you're like, I'll take a client for half my pay. Just make sure you have one in the holster. You're ready to go with that first client.
Yeah, and make sure you have a little bit of money to get you over that gap.
Yeah.
All right, that one was pretty quick. I say we do one more.
Sure.
So this person said, my boyfriend showed my dad his. This person said, my boyfriend showed his dad my nudes, and I don't know how to get over it. I, 20 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, have been in a long-term relationship for about 6 months now. That's not long term. That's not long term.
What are we talking about here?
What are you saying?
This is the same as the freaking dude dating the 30-year-old. What are we doing?
Yeah, the age difference is pretty close too.
And it's 20. So like maybe people just don't understand at that age what a long-term relationship is. Continue.
Over time, he's gradually been telling his family about me and showing them photos. Last week, he met up with his dad, and during the visit, my boyfriend was showing him photos of me on his phone. Unfortunately, while doing this, 2 nude photos I'd sent my boyfriend were accidentally shown to his dad. Later, my boyfriend told me his dad had made a lot of sexualized comments about me, and my boyfriend found it funny. Now I don't know how to get over not getting any apology from him, along with him not standing up for me. What's going on? This is weird. This is so weird.
Maybe I'm just in this world where I don't even understand the question, because like if this happened like with my family, we would just be like, oh God, so sorry, and then we would never talk about it again. You put that deep down, you pretend like it never happened, you bury that.
There's so much that we have to address. Yeah. Like I think let's go through it in parts. Sure. I think 20 and 26 is a really weird age gap. 6 years is not the end of the world, but like where you are in life at 20 and where you are at 26 is so different. It's like, it's very weird. I mean, like it can work. Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that have had successful relationships. There's probably a bunch of people who will hear this and be like, oh, me and my significant other are, well, he's 27 and I'm 22 and we work great. Sure. That's great for you. I don't care. But like objectively, the life experience at 26 and 20, it's so different. It's now, like that being said, your boyfriend's 20. Why does your boyfriend have your nudes just in the camera roll?
That's a wild thing to have.
We got the hidden folder for a reason. Let's use it.
They handed it to you. Apple handed it to you. I assume Android. I haven't used Android in years, but I assume they handed it to you. Yeah. Just put them where they belong. It's like leaving your dirty laundry out. What are we doing? You gotta put the dirty laundry away. Shove it in the back of the closet. You know what you do with those nudes? They go in the hidden folder. What are we talking about here? This is ridiculous. And this is you started with a problem from just there.
And the dad making a bunch of comments about it, that's weird. That's
out of pocket.
Weird. It also makes me kind of think, like, was this an accident? Because like this person wasn't there when it happened. Was it an accident?
Odd. Very. I don't even.
Maybe
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It kind of gives the vibe, like if you're a 20-year-old dating a 26-year-old guy, that's one thing. There's a type of guy who's a 26-year-old dating a 20-year-old, like I'm 25. I couldn't tell you the last time I talked to a 20-year-old. It
feels like we're going back to the last question. It just doesn't feel
why is there there's a big trend going on with a lot of these. But
it feels like when you have the big age gap, maybe especially that early in life, maybe other problems arise. That's kind of what I'm noticing here.
yeah, it's
Which
just
I'm not saying it's illegal, and I'm not saying there's anything,
it's not illegal.
There's
But
nothing.
it's strange.
Yeah, there's nothing, ethically wrong, but maybe morally there might be a little bit of like there's a
Yeah.
little. It adds a new level of tension that you might not have if you dated someone closer to you. And I don't know. You got Leonardo DiCaprio dating these young 20-somethings, and I don't know. I was going to say he makes it work, but he doesn't make it work because I think he's dated like
No, he's very weird for it too.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is the dads making those comments. That's really weird. It seems kind of like bro-y culture. I don't know. I think the advice generally is maybe dump your boyfriend. He kind of sounds like he sucks. But maybe, I'm a big fan of vigilante justice here.
Okay.
So
where
what
are we going with this?
You could just dump your boyfriend. That'd be boring. Show your mom his dick pics.
Whoa! What are we doing here?
Or show his mom. Yeah, I don't know if I said your mom. Show both moms his dick pics.
Maybe get one that's not at the best angle. Get one of those ones that are like, maybe I shouldn't have sent that. Make them rethink that.
Yeah, I mean, you could get it fresh off the press. Ask if you're listening. Ask your boyfriend for a dick pic right now. I bet he sends it.
No question asked. Of course he does. A dude being a dude, of course he does. What are we doing? This bro keeps the nudes in the normal. He'll send you one on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, like I got asked for a dick pic mid podcast. Sent it. You didn't even notice.
It's just a flash. Oh.
I had to get the zoom. My bad.
The zoom. Sorry, this angle just isn't doing me justice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. This one's weird. These have all been weird.
Yeah, now get us better questions, Reddit. I mean, ProfessionalInternsPodcast at Gmail. Get us better questions.
Yeah, so I think next episode might still have a Reddit question or two in there.
Do you think we're going to be filled with non-Reddit questions by not next episode?
I don't know. I don't know what our recording schedule is. Probably not. If I think about it. Look, these first few episodes are going to be a lot of Reddit questions, and we're gonna transition out of it. But yeah, any questions sent to us will be put to the top, of course. Unless it's really weird, please don't be really weird. But ask whatever you want. You can be anonymous. You can not. And you can send that to ProfessionalInternsPodcast at gmail.com. Also, new pod. I probably should have plugged this in the beginning, but follow us on all the socials. We got we have, dude, everything. Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube.
What? You made a Blue Sky for this?
I grabbed the URL. I grabbed the everywhere I could. I think I made a Twitch for this, buddy.
A Twitch? Wow, we're gonna start live streaming these? Brutal.
No. This is not a podcast. Maybe
gets a little too. You guys should have seen what we cut out.
I can't believe you said that.
Dude, I can't believe you just dropped that word like that. So nonchalant. Okay. I just can't. Okay. I can't believe you just dropping that. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. If you're on Spotify,
you're an
YouTube.
ally, but come on.
No. You can find me on YouTube and all this stuff. Jamie Regan and Noah on YouTube at Big Blue Bug Gaming. And I don't know what your other ads are. You don't.
I think the other one's just Big Blue Bug. I don't know. Big Blue Bug Gaming is going to be
We got links. We got links everywhere.
It'll probably be listed in the description of this going up on Spotify.
Yeah, it'll be all over. It'll be all over.
Let's go.
Follow the podcast account and you'll find our account. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.